You see light poles like these all over the city, but what you don't see is how badly they shake.
All you have to do with this app is scan the barcode on that specific book. Event organizers and volunteers encourage this week for people to come out and try locally grown food. Captain Pogue says the proposed $8 million increase is useful in many ways, including to update their fleet. Bud walks this dock multiple times a day just to check his boat, because without his boat, he doesn't have a job. Reporting live from UF's Innovation News Center, Casey Liening, WUFT News.
It's a weird feeling, having so many fractures and having so many injuries at the same time.
Maria Sayago describes the time she was hit by a car while using a pedestrian crosswalk on 62nd Avenue.
I wasn't doing anything wrong. You know, I was crossing where I was supposed to cross.
GPD is cracking down on pedestrian laws. Not yielding for a pedestrian and not following the crosswalk signs are both zero-tolerance offenses. GPD and several other agencies from the city of Gainesville came together in 2010 to develop a way to decrease the amount of accidents involving pedestrians.
You know, when we have 140 to 160 pedestrian crashes a year, that's way too many. You know, one fatality is too many. When you have 2 or 3 pedestrian fatalities, that's way too many for the city of Gainesville. So what we have to do is we have to remind motorists, remind pedestrians, remind bicyclists, you know, we need everyone to adhere to the law.
They tested a new high-visibility enforcement method that used public education as well as noticeable signs to remind drivers of the laws. One of the most interesting results from this study was that vehicles were more likely to yield to naturally crossing pedestrians when compared to police-staged crossings. Why? Because naturally crossing pedestrians are more assertive and more likely to put themselves in front of the vehicles. GPD says accidents are not always the driver's fault. Sometimes the pedestrians are to blame for not crossing safely. To help prevent accidents, GPD officers are handing out pedestrian safety brochures with every ticket.
Today we might have been, it seemed like, on every corner, which we weren't. But, you know, we can't continue that. So it's up to, you know, voluntary compliance of the law for everyone to understand and follow it. And it makes the roadways safer for everyone to use.
Gainesville's special enforcement program has now been recognized by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Casey Liening, WUFT News. The Alachua County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding 2 school buses taken from Hawthorne over the weekend. This is the first time buses have been taken in Alachua County, but similar thefts have happened across the state. It's happened in 4 school districts across the state since 2012. 9 school buses stolen. None recovered. Alachua County deputies are working with other agencies in Florida to find a possible connection in the string of unsolved crimes. School district officials see a pattern.
They're the same 2 type buses that were stolen from Flagler County in late July. They're what called rear engine RE buses. And I guess they're targeting just certain kind of buses to steal.
These buses are some of the most expensive, costing up to $112,000. That's a big chunk of money the school district won't get back unless the buses are found.
We'll have some insurance coverage on it, but not the full cost of purchasing a new bus.
2 buses were taken from a compound near Hawthorne High School sometime between Sunday afternoon and early Monday morning. The thieves cut the lock on the fence and managed to start the buses without the keys. ASO doesn't know why school buses are being targeted, whether for foreign sales or chop shop parts, but deputies are on high alert.
You know, we're very aware of it and take it very seriously because we don't know what this person's taking them for.
He says they'll continue to investigate and look for connections in the other similar incidents.
It's kind of a whodunit at this point. We need the public's help or somebody that saw something suspicious.
So how can you help? Here are the tag numbers of the buses that were taken: 239578 and TC4561. Anyone with information that leads to an arrest may be eligible for a reward. Call Crime Stoppers at 372-STOP or 372-7867. Reporting live from UF's Innovation News Center, I'm Casey Liening, WUFT News. And any given night in the city of Gainesville, hookah lounges like the one behind me will be packed with people, but oftentimes these people don't realize just how dangerous hookah can be. It's been 2 years since the last time Krista Wathen smoked hookah. and she says she'll never do it again.
Over a period of time, I started realizing that my breathing was not, I was not recuperating my breathing as fast as I would, prior. So I realized it was deteriorating. And at first, I didn't know why. It didn't occur to me that it was the hookah because it's tobacco.
For Wathen and many other people that smoke hookah, it's a social thing.
I guess it was more like trying to fit in. So I would just smoke with them because there was nothing else I could do.
But researchers say that's one of the reasons why hookah is considered so dangerous.
People are smoking hookah for anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours at a time, depending on how long they want to smoke. And as a result, they're inhaling these huge amounts of smoke over a short period of time, but comparatively to a cigarette, it's a long period of time. And you can have very, very high carbon monoxide levels.
Using breathalyzers, Eric and his team of researchers would measure the carbon monoxide levels in people leaving hookah lounges at night. He would find anywhere between 30 and 100 parts per million in these people. Normal carbon monoxide levels between 2 and 3 parts per million. Wathen admits she thought hookah was safer than other tobacco products, but never thought about exactly what she was inhaling. A dangerous amount of carbon monoxide.
Actually, that thought never crossed my mind before.
Does that worry you now thinking about it?
Yeah.
Researchers are revealing the facts about hookah. More people are smoking hookah than cigarettes.
But the problem is that there's a lot of perception that it is safe, because we've heard things like people say there's no tobacco in it, which there is. We've heard that there's no nicotine in it, which there is.
Smoking tobacco has a list of risks already associated with it, but hookah has a whole other list of not so obvious dangers.
Potentially spreading STDs, things like HPV, because you're sharing the same mouthpiece and passing it down the line. And that's one of the more unique issues to smoking hookah.
And when I asked what Wathen did to protect herself, even she admits her bad habits.
I had those plastic tabs that they put on the end that I would use sometimes, but most of the time it was just like we were all sharing the same mouthpiece, which is unsanitary, but yeah, that was very unsanitary.
If you choose to smoke hookah, there are a few things you should do to protect yourself. If you're smoking in a public hookah lounge, make sure you use the plastic mouthpiece provided to you. And if it is not provided for you, make sure you bring your own. If you choose to use a personal hookah, then make sure it is cleaned properly before you use it. Reporting in downtown Gainesville today, Liening, WUFT News.